Here's a full cinematic, emotionally deep version of your story, structured naturally for a 40-minute YouTube narrative with heartfelt pacing, twists, and powerful emotional arcs. You can narrate it with music and pauses to match tone and tension. Sometimes, a single act of kindness doesn't just change a life, it rewrites destiny. That's how this story begins. It was almost midnight when Daniel Reed, a 36-year-old single dad, was driving back from a late shift at the construction site. His two daughters, Emma and Grace, were fast asleep in the back seat, their little heads resting against each other. Rain poured hard that night, the kind that made even the city lights look blurred and broken. Daniel was exhausted. He had no one waiting for him at home except his girls and a tiny rented house with peeling paint. But as he crossed the old bridge out of town, he saw something that made him hit the brakes. On the side of the road, barely visible through the rain, a woman stood shivering, soaked, holding two small children. One of the girls was crying quietly, and the woman's face was bruised, her lip cut open. Daniel pulled over. "Hey, are you all right?" he asked, stepping out. Instantly drenched, the woman flinched. "Please. I'll move." "We don't need trouble," she whispered. Daniel looked closer. "You need help," he said softly. That night, he found out her name was Lena, a mother of twin girls who looked about the same age as Emma and Grace. Her husband had died in an accident a year ago. Since then, she and her daughters had been living with her husband's family until tonight, when her in-laws threw her out. They blamed her for everything, calling her a curse. When she stood up for her daughters, her brother-in-law hit her. Daniel's heart clenched. He saw his own past flash before his eyes, how he'd once been left alone after his wife died, raising two kids with nothing but willpower and worn-out hands. He couldn't walk away from them. "Come on," he said finally. "You and your girls are coming with me." Lena hesitated. "I can't ask you." "You're not asking," Daniel said. "I'm offering." That night, he gave Lena and her daughters his own bed. He slept on the couch. When the morning sun came through the cracked blinds, Daniel woke to laughter, the kind of laughter his home hadn't heard in years. His girls and Lena's twins were building a fort out of couch cushions, giggling like old friends. The days turned into weeks. Lena found small work at a nearby bakery, and Daniel helped fix things around her life, her car, her resume, her confidence. They shared quiet dinners, stories about late spouses, and the exhaustion of single parenthood. Somewhere between the chaos of homework and burnt pancakes, a fragile friendship began to grow, but small-town gossip isn't kind. People whispered about Lena living with a man. Her in-laws found out and came one night, shouting outside Daniel's house, calling her names, accusing Daniel of stealing her. Daniel stood in the doorway, his jaw tight. "You laid a hand on her once. You won't ever again." Something in his tone silenced them. It wasn't anger, it was truth backed by pain and integrity. The police came soon after, and Lena's in-laws were warned to stay away. But that night, Lena broke down. She cried for hours, saying she was just a burden, that everyone she loved got hurt. Daniel just sat beside her. "You're not a burden," he said. "You're a fighter. You just forgot what it feels like to be protected." From that day forward, their lives intertwined like threads of the same story, two wounded souls trying to build something whole. The kids called themselves the Quad Squad, for hearts healing together. Then, something extraordinary happened. One evening, Daniel came home early to find Lena praying quietly in the kitchen. On the table was a letter. It was from the city council. Daniel had applied months ago for a community rebuilding grant, a long shot to start his own carpentry business. He'd forgotten about it completely. The letter said he'd been approved. His hands trembled. It was the break he'd prayed for, the miracle he never thought would come. But here it was, right when he'd opened his home to someone else. That night, Daniel looked at Lena and said, "I thought I was helping you, but maybe God sent you to help me remember hope." They opened the business together, a small woodworking and home renovation shop named Second Chances. It wasn't just a job, it was a family effort. The girls made signs, painted furniture, and brought light to every project. Months later, on Christmas Eve, Daniel stood by the fire with his daughters and Lena's twins decorating a small tree. Lena handed him a wrapped box. Inside was a framed photo, the six of them together, smiling. Under it, in Lena's handwriting, were the words, "Sometimes home isn't found. It's built together." Daniel looked up at her, eyes full of emotion. "Lena," he whispered, "you gave me back my family." And as the snow fell outside, for the first time in years, Daniel didn't feel like a single dad anymore. He felt like a man whose broken pieces had finally fit together again, thanks to a woman he rescued one rainy night, who ended up rescuing him right back. So if you believe that kindness still has power, that miracles can start from a simple act of compassion, then remember this story. Because somewhere tonight, a stranger might be waiting for the one person who refuses to look away, and that person could be you.